Hello there, beautiful people. Wow, thank you for that, guys. That was great. Hi there, and welcome to session. Welcome to. I forgot what session number it is now. Session 41. 41. Fathoms Below. I am your DM of Doom and potentially felony murderer of 4 people, son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. And with me today, we've got my amazing cast / victims. We have got Just Kyle. We've got Selkie.
I'm innocent.
We've Lawless Aries cosplay, and we've got that one Warlock. Yeah, as a little bit of housekeeping for today's session, just as a reminder, we are still recruiting for our Dragon Age campaign. So if you haven't submitted an application and you want to learn how to play the Dragon Age TTRPG, please do it, because it's going to be really fun and it's such a fun system. So please do consider having a little look at it. I'm going to drop the link in as we speak. One thing to note is that Dragon Age, the TTRPG system, much like Dragon Age, the actual games, is a dark fantasy. To quote the book, to quote the dungeon, the Game Master's Guide. If you are looking for a fantasy game where elves ride on unicorns through gladed forests with rainbows in the sky, this is not the game for you. It is dark fantasy, it does have dark themes, and therefore there will be heavy content warnings around about it. So please do keep that in mind before you apply, and that I am only accepting players who are 18 plus. Fantastic. Other than that, I don't have anything to say, so I'm just going to jump right ahead and say to my players, guys, what the hell happened last session?
Combat.
Yeah.
You fought a guy.
You know what, Tom? You quacked. You can do it.
You quacked first. Look at the chat. You quacked first.
That wasn't that loud. We had some combat. We got to fuck up the Doctor and the cronies.
Mm-hmm. We did indeed. We did indeed. We got to really punish that Doctor. That guy got messed up. If it was not for a magic item, he was dying. But unfortunately, he did manage to get off that magic item. As far from what I remember, and I could be completely remembering this incorrectly, but before he left, did he not offer an interesting choice to someone?
He did echo a little, hey, do you want to come with me, buddy? Do you want to become even better? Yes, quacking was involved with this. It was the offer to become the ultimate duck.
That was it. If in fact anybody's familiar with the beginning of my DM career, you will know that ducks are actually eldritch horrors. So,
this makes complete and utter sense.
It does. Yes. I mean, thinking about some of their anatomy, yep, eldritch horror.
Heck.
We're not getting into that on a live stream.
No. Not on the live stream. But I'll tell you about it later, Kyle.
Terrifying.
Alrighty.
But anyway,
I'm intrigued. Yes. Echo was offered to, quote-unquote, come home and become perfect again.
And did they accept it?
They did not, for one reason only. And I can't remember if they revealed it in session, but they did say that there was only one reason why they did not go with the Doctor.
I do
so
not
the Doctor,
remember if they said it, and no, they didn't reveal it in session, so there we go.
Okay, so there is a reason for them not going. We now have Kaelin, for lack of a better term, subservient to Echo. And they will follow them without question or emotion, is one thing we've learned.
Just because of the wording of it and just because of how it can be portrayed, I will confirm that the NPC Kaelin has had all of their human ideas of free will stripped. They are nothing more than a thing that can talk but is basically an animal. So they're not subservient, they are obedient in the way that a beta animal is obedient to an alpha animal. It is that is literally it. They view Selkie as the dominant member of their species. Unlike
Selkie, you're no longer an Omega.
unlike Selkie's character, Echo, who has complete free will, while still being very attached to their instincts. They do have free will. This particular NPC does not have that free will anymore. They are completely instinctual, damn near feral. But they have shown an understanding of obedience, and they view Echo as their dominant member of their species. So just so it can be a bit clear, because the word subservient can put
absolutely fair and valid.
Put a wee bit of nervousness in some people.
Completely fair and valid. We also, through Selkie cracking open whatever the box was, like a tin can, we have released a water elemental that seems to have some sort of hierarchical parentage. Whether they are a greater elemental or some sort of lord of the oceans, we do not know. They have left, and we then went back home, where Malith and Moradin are currently not there.
No, because Malith and Moradin had left to go and deal with some stuff.
They went to go find Koldo.
They did indeed. They went to go and try and track down Koldo. So, as you guys return, what I'm going to say, for the sake of silent pilot, because we don't have our lovely Diamond here with us today. We love you, Diamond, and we hope you're feeling better soon.
Love you.
Love you.
Love.
What we will say is that if you guys do decide to go and do anything today, Luce will hang back, and in the sake of
guarding Callan.
I'd say we'll see how that goes, but we'll find some reason that Luce will hang back. Okay.
Sounds good.
So, as was said, we left off with you guys coming out of the manhole cover, convincing a bunch of officials that you were also somehow officials, and well done, Ariel, and then making your way back into the Glimmertide Manor House. So, sorry, I just put I've got dry eyes, and I can't find eye drops, so I just put vapor up under my eyes to encourage them to weep a little bit, and I put a little bit much on. The fumes are painful.
Yeah.
It's actually a banging wee trick if you ever get like dry eyes and you can't find eye drops. A little bit of Vicks vapor up just under your eyes works great, but I put on a little bit much there. Right.
Red.
Where should I go with? Yes, I would like to go to you guys. I don't want to skip to you guys being in the manor house. I want to go to you guys entering the manor house, okay? So, I know we kind of left off with you guys already kind of being in there and just going in, but I would like to put a bit more time into that. As you guys go in, Kaelin is going to, go to a corner, but as they go into the corner, they go like right up the wall. Like they curl into one of the kind of corners of like one of the ceiling corners, and Echo, it's fairly known to you how they can do this because you're very similar in it as well. But their size goes like right down. They are almost like down to like a fifth of their size, coiled up inside this corner. As was said, the room is everything is open except for Moradin's study. Everywhere else is free to go. I will hand over to you guys from here and ask if there's anything that you guys want to do or anything you wish to discuss after these events that's just happened.
Seeing Kaelin just like backwards spider into the ceiling corner, Ariel just like leans over to Marisol, looking at Kaelin, saying, if you came to me about a year ago and said this exact situation we're looking at would become fairly normal, I'd probably call you insane.
That's fair. About a year ago, I wouldn't have said that at all.
Feather is going to look at you with that Marisol and just be like, yes, but then again, a year ago you wouldn't have said anything.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the joke, buddy.
Oh, okay. I picked up on it later. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
And he's gonna like, his face is gonna go a little bit flushed, and he's gonna kind of like mutter to himself like, shit, fuck, should have made that joke. Fuck.
God, he's precious.
He just
Fine.
wants friends. Okay.
I know.
He just
Oh no,
wants friends.
that was Ariel saying this to Marisol. It's like, God, he's precious.
He is. So,
What are you thinking, Captain?
think we all need rest. If we can somehow send ahead the Luce's dad, because if he comes in and sees Kalen up in the upper corner of his entryway, he might get a little scared. Probably not bad of an idea.
But at the same time, we might be able to just talk it off as it's just Echo.
Yes,
Do you say that out loud, Ariel?
I mean, not like out loud to the room.
What I mean is you're speaking out loud.
Oh, yeah.
Audible growling can be heard coming from the corner.
There's growling coming from 2 locations.
No, I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that.
So, I imagine there are a lot of things to go over now. We have new information. We have a new enemy. At least one that a lot of us have now seen for the first time. Who probably isn't fully dead out there.
I wouldn't count on it. They were close, though.
We were very well. Echo was very close.
Yeah.
Echo, what do you want to do now? This was mainly involving. I like the unsynchronized blink so much for Echo, and then I remember Echo don't have eyes.
Echo don't have eyes. This is just Selkie being Selkie. It's even stranger to see in person. I love it. I love you, Selkie.
Amazing.
Eventually my bangs are gonna get long enough to where I can just hide the eyes and go into echo mode, just gone.
Echo mode.
Echo mode engaged. That was quiet. Like, they turn to face you as you speak. But outside of that, they don't actually say anything in response. If you were to put, I guess, an emotion to how they look a bit lost.
That's so very understandable.
Mm.
I think even Marisol's gonna go, I'm gonna be honest, I think we all just need to lay down for a little bit. I don't know what to do next. I feel like I'm not supposed to say that as captain, but that was a lot.
So, Marisol, you are saying that a long rest is in order.
I think so.
Okay. So, as you're the one saying that, I'll go to you first. Marisol, is there anything you would like to do before taking a long rest?
Um. Not that I can really think of.
Okay.
Because it feels like nobody really wants to talk about what just happened right now. It seems like everybody's still a little
Absolutely fair.
whatever everybody is.
Absolutely fair. Okay, so you depart and go to take a long rest.
Hmm.
Okay. I'll go to Reaver. At the point that Marisol says that, now is a time to rest, is there anything that you would like to do before resting?
In theory, yes, but in the current situation, no. Because there's a priority system in my head right now of how things are going. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to steal the sharpest knife in that kitchen, and I'm going to just use it like a whetstone. Sorry, Moradin, do not care.
Okay, you take the sharpest knife in the kitchen and you go to use it as a whetstone. Awesome. Nothing else for you?
If the mace requires attunement, attune to it.
You want to attune to the maul that you got from the big turtle guy? No,
Yeah.
it's just a maul.
Cool.
It's just a +1 maul. It's bang.
Then yeah, just watching the door while
Okay.
just sharpening the Kraken blade again.
Cool. Alrighty. Then we'll go to... I've got a feeling that Echo will have some stuff maybe to do, so I'll go to Ariel and then jump to Echo. Ariel, anything that you would like to do before settling into a long rest?
I actually don't think I'm gonna do a long rest. I think I'll just do a short rest.
Must be nice
Because-
being a warlock.
Yeah, it really is. And then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I might take Reaver for a walk.
Okay. So you are trepidatiously settled. Then we'll go to Echo. Is there anything that Echo would like to do before long resting?
Always remember to take your Rickboard on their daily walks.
On their daily walk.
Always remember to let your Wreckborn commit their daily murders.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't say, I'm going to take you for a walk out loud, because you'll get walked into the ground.
Oh no, Ariel's not saying that. That's me saying that.
Absolutely valid.
Damn it! Don't
Yeah.
forget to take your Reaver for their walkies.
Yeah, Tom, I'm just going to let you know, since the combat, Ariel, Reaver's not said a single word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know.
I was like, yeah, I think more like, okay, buddy.
Echo, anything you'd like to
Yeah.
Let me figure out what order. There's not a lot, but there is an order I want to do this in. The first thing that Echo is going to do
Uh-huh.
is they are actually going to approach Kalen.
Okay. You approach Kaelin. Are you approaching them with the intent to converse with them, communicate?
Yes.
Okay. So as you approach them, much in a way that you are intuitively wired into people, Kaelin senses this and immediately crawls down the wall. And they come almost like on their belly, so that they maintain like eye contact to you without looking down at you.
How much information do you retain?
We remember everything. Everything since we were made.
Right. Good. Okay, that'll make this a lot easier. Echo takes a moment to kind of look around and just see if there is anyone currently within earshot.
So Ariel hasn't said if they're definitely doing anything, so I'm going to say that for the safety of that, in case they do decide they're going to do something, maybe have you guys move to another room if you're going to speak about something that's sensitive. Just because if it goes the way it is just now, then no, nobody's within earshot. But if Ariel does decide to move around, then it could be so.
I will say Ariel's like spending the short rest in the kitchen, so.
Okay, so I guess in that sense, no one in direct earshot. Reaver is there, but Reaver is the main chamber of this house is quite large, so speaking at one side of it probably wouldn't give way to anybody else inside if they're at other sides of the room.
Echo's not too worried about people hearing, just to know who is around.
Okay.
So they'll stay where they are. Are they still at the same place they were when we left?
No. When they realised that we could talk and when they realised that we could see, they moved.
Where did they move?
And they kind of frown a little and they say, we don't know the names. We don't understand the words. They're in the place with the 12.
Okay, that's something. Have you overheard them talking about whatever it is they're planning?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
You are perfect. But... And you can see he's like trying to think of their exact words instead of putting it into his own words. And he's like, compact. We are flawed, but large. The next one will be all and both.
Do you know why they're trying to create us?
It's like the bottle when you have something and then it goes inside the bottle. They are making the bottle.
Stay here for just a moment. And Echo is actually going to go find Celia.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Celia is incredibly easy to find.
Echo approaches quickly, but not like urgently.
Okay.
And as they approach, they wait until they actually have Celia's attention, and even potentially like a actual verbal acknowledgement.
Okay. Celia will turn round, see you, and like, Echo, hi. Is everything okay? You don't look like anything, but there's a vibe.
Do you have time?
Yes, yes, I do. Why? What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. There are things we have difficulty understanding, but you might not.
Okay.
They're actually going to round up Marisol as well.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's sort of the same approach. Like bringing Feather with it's the waiting until they've been acknowledged before speaking.
Hello. What do you need, Echo?
Do you have time? Are you busy?
I have all the time in the world.
Wonderful. Between the both of you, at least, should understand some of us a little better.
Okay.
If there's something that pertains particularly to things Weaver or Ariel may know, we can acquire them as well. And Echo kind of mumbles to themselves, but them mumbling to themselves is still them mumbling in all of these voices, so it just gets a little more unnerving as it turns to mumbling.
Okay. Take me to what we are trying to understand.
Echo will then lead both Feather and, well, Celia and Marisol back to Kaelin.
Okay.
I like to imagine Echo's just like holding both our hands.
Acquired?
Dragging us.
Yep. It's, in reality, it's more of Echo's kind of doing almost a figure 8 sort of swim between the two of you as they lead forward. So they'll move forward and then they'll kind of scoop up behind each of you, and then move forward and then scoop up behind each of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Weird way to move, but it keeps them active.
Yep, definitely.
Once they get up there, they'll settle and they'll look back at Kaelin. Can you repeat the information you told me about where they are now and what they're doing?
Okay. So Kaelin then nods and then turns to both Celia and Marisol and repeats back they moved to the place with the 12, and then they again repeat the part about it's like the thing that goes inside the bottle. They are making the bottle. I guess it would just be a straight intelligence check for those.
Yeah.
Yep, straight intelligence check. So if you just make me an intelligence check there, Marisol. And with it being repeated again, Echo, you can join in on it. You can join.
I'm not gonna.
You're not. Okie dokie.
They do not have the intelligence for this, and I'm well aware of it.
Got a 19.
A 19 for you. Let me crack out dice, and I can make a roll for.
Also, to be clear, for others, they are not stopping anyone. If anyone approaches, they do not care if anyone overhears. This is not something that they are obviously keeping secret or anything. They have just acquired people who they believe is going to have more insight into this than they are.
So with a 19 as well from Celia. The place with the 12 is one that Marisol, you and both Celia will get that quite easily. The place with the 12 they seem to be talking about, the one thing that you've heard about the 12 quite often is Cephalophore, which has the 12 ruling people who answer to the Queen of Cephalophore. What with the Doctor also being a Cicalia, chances are that's where that points. The other one could be a multitude of things. Neither of you reached the DC for identifying what they're making the bottle could be. So it could be a number of things. It's just that's not really enough to pin it down for either of you.
Well, the place with the 12, most likely Cephalophore, given the fact that, there are 12 people serving their queen, and also the Doctor is a Cicalia. I don't know what bottle they could be making, unless they're talking about, you make a product and then you package it to sell it to people. They're making the package so that they can sell their creatures to people. That's the best I can figure.
I have no idea. I'm going to make a roll and see if Celia would think of this. Okay, it's an 18 on the die, plus the 5 on his intelligence. I'm going to say that's enough. He will look at he's going to look at Kaelin, and he will say, Kaelin, when you say they're trying to make the bottle, are they building something? That something is going to be put inside? And Kaelin is going to immediately look at you, Selkie, with the very obvious sign that they're looking like, do I answer them?
Echo's initial response is to say something along the lines of, you can answer them whenever they ask, but then they actually pause, stop themselves from answering that way, and go, you can answer.
And then they turn back and immediately they just say, they are not building, they are making. And you will see the very noticeable sign of annoyance flash over Celia's face right now, because to him, building and making are the same thing. So he's just like, perhaps we're going about this the wrong way. Kaelin, what is going inside the bottle? And again, Kaelin will look to you, Echo. You give them permission, and they will turn and they will go, the one with many eyes.
Oh. One with many eyes goes in the bottle. They are making the bottle. Do we think this is some sort of attack?
Echo's gonna hold up a hand for a moment, and then put it down. And it's a back and forth for a moment before they turn to Kaelin and go, are we bottles?
And he will look at you and just nod as if like, yeah, we are. And then he'll say, but our bottle, we are not the right bottle. But us together as one will make the right bottle.
So they're trying to build a creature to put the mind inside of? Am I understanding this correctly?
And Kaelin will again look to you, Echo, before answering.
Echo's lost in thought for a moment, so it takes them a second longer to respond, but they do end up nodding.
Okay, and Kaelin will say to you, Marisol, will say, yes. At which point Celia is going to go, not bottle, vessel.
Which is then why the only way they could think of improving us was to remove our conscious free will, because that takes up too much space.
And then you can see Celia's mind, his eyes doing the back and forth thing, as he goes, some magics have binding rules, laws. A spirit can possess a body, but only if the body is willing. If you take away a creature's free will, they're not bound by those rules. They're trying to make a body for something.
Something with many eyes, which is a deity of some kind.
I'll be right back. And Celia is going to move towards the library here.
As Celia does that, Echo looks between Marisol and Kaelin and goes, "We will also return in a moment," and is going to go to the kitchens to find Ariel.
Okay. Celia will look to where Echo leaves and then just look at Marisol with those wide, unblinking eyes, just very awkwardly. Well, not awkwardly, just I imagine the situation would be awkward, but to them, they are just doing what they were told.
Hello.
I love Marisol.
Echo, you went to the kitchen to get... Oh, sorry, Marisol, go ahead.
I'm just sitting there, so... Were there more like you where you came from?
There were none like us. We are superior. The only one above us is Echo.
Were there more below you?
Yes. Lots. But they were all failures.
I'm gonna hate myself for asking this. What do they do with the failures?
They take their and they kind of frown and they go like this, and they're gonna wild shape, and as they wild shape, as I've said, the difference between them is that their wild shape is monstrosities, so it turns into this like not huge but like definitely large like weird cross between like an eel and oh god, what's the name of that thing?
Describe it.
Oh,
Lamprey?
no, it's not. No, it's not a I would have just said lamprey. No, it's it's a member of the squid. It's a member of the squid family, but it's
Cuttlefish.
No. But it's it's really brightly coloured, and it leaves out. It's almost like a seaweed like trail out behind it. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, for talking sake, this long eel-like body with like where at the mouth it's just like a balloon of tentacles, but this long unfurling, it almost looks like a brightly illuminescent trail of seaweed with dancing lights on the end of it. It turns into that, and then he immediately just shapes right back to his usual self and says, "They took away their that."
Oh, okay.
We can be us, or we can be other things.
Yes.
But the failures.
They took away.
but the failures.
They
can
took
be,
away.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I'll finish what Kaelin's saying, and then we'll get you right.
Okay.
Kaelin says, "We can be us, or we can be other things. But the failures can be neither. They are stuck."
So they take away your ability to transform. Or just your life. Could have gone either way.
No, they are still alive. They are all kept. And then he's going to do that for the first time. He does the thing that Echo does, where he mimics the Doctor's voice, and he says, "Even a failed experiment can be an attack dog if necessary."
Lovely. When they build the bottle, when they have the bottle and the thing that they want to put in the bottle, what are they going to do with it?
We do not know.
Okay. That's all the questions I can think of right now.
Fantastic. Then we will go to Echo going into the kitchen for Ariel.
Did the same silent approach.
It's yeah.
Hi. What's up, buddy?
Buckle cone flicks out. You are familiar with gods and larger entities, yes?
Ish. Yeah.
You seem more familiar with the
Weird.
darker side
Yeah.
of them than Marisol. Have you heard of the Many-Eyed One?
DM, did Adelan mention fighting something with many eyes back when he was alive and died?
So Atalan, or as you knew him for the longest time, Drift.
Yeah, Drift.
Drift mentioned snake eyes in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Atalan is famed, like the thing that he is greatly famed for is his last stand against a primordial entity known as Aunun, the Serpent of Chaos, Destruction Incarnate, an entity that is basically all of those world serpent myths that you have, Ouroboros, Kukulkan, Jormungandr, all of those rolled into one. This is basically like if Apophis from the Egyptian mythology had a sea snake sibling who was older and angrier.
Okay.
And he is known by many different names. Like I said, he's known as Chaos Incarnate, the entity of destruction. He is the end of all ends. And he is also known as the serpent who watches with many eyes.
I knew it!
So yeah, no religion check needed for you. You're raised in a cult, and
You're raised in the cult. You're fine.
kind of similar to how, like, you know how, like, in the Cthulhu mythos, like, Cthulhu is like the big bad, whoa, but he's actually not the big bad. He's like the guy who works in the mail office of the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
Kriakos is seen as like an entity of death, of like pure rot and all that such, but like realistically he's like the whipping boy to Alnun. Alnun is like, of the, can't really call any of the primordial entities good or bad, because they're all just, it's like saying that Thanatos is evil, but he's not, he's just death.
He just is.
He just is. But if you could say that they were at least some way like more lean towards the negative, Alnun is like the chief negative primordial entity. They are not death, they are the end.
Got it. Oh my god, my theory was right. Holy fuck. Yeah, I know a bit about some of the darker shit. What do you need?
Many eyes.
Aunun?
We don't know if that's correct or not. But what is
Chaos Incarnate, one of the primordial beings of the end. Real fuckwit. Not a good time. Why do you ask?
if you are correct, if Alnun is the one, that is who we are meant to be a vessel for.
Vessel?
Vessel.
I'm confused, Deca. What happened?
Oh, that's why Doctor thought I could improve. Thought we could improve. By no longer having conscious free will. Takes up too much space. Us and Kaylin were meant to be one entity, devoid of any thought of our own, to be a vessel. In theory, if you are correct. For Alnun.
By the organization?
Hmm?
By the organization?
Yes.
I'm just thinking out loud here. This organization you talk about doesn't seem like the religious type.
Speak up.
Sorry. Why is my microphone being an asshole? This organization you've been talking about, they don't really seem like the religious type. Aunun is known as like a primordial being that is worshipped in some places.
One does not have to be religious if entities exist.
Sure, but it makes me think that there's something else going. Wait, hold on. You said free will, right?
Well, for us. Because if we have it, then in theory it can't take over properly.
Oh, I have a very bad idea.
But
If they're able to, if their whole goal is to turn you into a vessel, What if they're trying to... Once they put Aunun into the vessel, remove that same free will and control, basically a primordial deity of chaos. Oh, that's terrifying.
We are now wondering how important it is that their vessel have no free will. We are wondering if there is a way, if Aunun is put into a vessel that has its own free will, if Aunun could be trapped.
Well, I mean, isn't Aunun already kind of trapped? Like, if I'm remembering my lessons correctly, didn't Drift or Adelan defeat it and like seal it away?
We do not know. What we do know is seals can always be broken.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like they're prepping.
Echo's going to look back up towards Ariel, give a nod, and go, "We are going to look more into if we can potentially trap Aunun within ourselves. Thank you. Goodbye."
No,
and
no,
Echo's going to leave.
No, you get back here.
Nope, they are gone.
Chasing
you.
after Echo.
Thank you very much, Bloody Butterfly Gaming, for the gifted sub. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Love it. Thank you very much. So Echo, you zip off now with the idea of, hey, I wonder what would happen if I made myself a literal being of destruction. Cool. Awesome.
Also, if Ariel is following, Echo's primary goal prior to doing anything else is going to be to lose Ariel. They don't like being chased.
I mean, yeah. You said some crazy shit. Of course I am.
That's valid.
Okay, so in that case, I need a stealth check against an active perception check.
Damn it, you're good at stealth, you...
My nat 20 for a 23.
God damn it!
that guy was gone.
Yeah. No. What's funny is I rolled a 19 plus 3 for a 22! Wait, hold on. Do I have anything?
It is not even like against Ariel in this moment. They just don't like being chased or followed on principle. And so they went, "Oh, no, bye."
I love how you
Instinct.
I love how you specifically said it's not like it's against Ariel at this moment.
Wait, I have a D10 of inspiration for from back when we got it.
Session 40. Top
It
of
wasn't
the...
40.
No. So I take a note of who's got a DM inspiration at the top of every page. Yeah, he does. He does have a D10 sitting. Doesn't matter what it lands on the ground. Roll it on the table.
9. So, 31. No. Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes.
so I'm going to mark off that you've now used your held inspiration. That's gone. However, I do want to point out, Echo, you have one as well if you would like to use it.
So, I might. But also what Echo could do is just continue to move from Ariel until Ariel gets tired.
There is also that.
Which is what Echo is going to do.
You're just constantly going to be moving. Ariel's falling. It's like, no, come back here and talk about this.
So the only thing I will say is, right, and I'm asked this purely for purely just so all things can be met. As Echo is zipping about, do you zip about like do you plan a route, or are you just going from room to room?
So,
Because basically, if Kaelin sees this guy chasing you and is able to pick up, which you guys are quite capable of doing, pick up the kind of idea that you're trying to lose them, Kaelin does not have the ability to go, oh, leave them to it. Kaelin will go, that is like me, and therefore must eat the thing chasing.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what does this look like for me, who's still near the door, just watching everything silently while just sharpening a blade?
What it looks like to everyone is emotion first, mildly annoyed but mostly unbothered.
Makes sense, you're talking to Ariel.
Mildly annoyed, mostly unbothered. This is one of the most chill, high-speed chases anyone's ever seen.
Just two motherfuckers speed walking in the same direction. One going back
Echo's
here.
booking it.
Oh,
Echo's
yeah.
booking it. They're just chill about it. This is
Ariel's
just
just
a
sitting here
Tuesday.
like. Ariel's just sitting here like they're going to wear themselves out eventually. They're going to wear themselves out eventually.
As you guys like moving around, Celia comes out of the library with a book, and like as Echo like goes by, he just instinctively like just lets them zip by.
What it is Echo is finding the smallest places they can fit into that Ariel can't. And that's how they're getting around. And if they can find a place that they can squeeze into that Ariel absolutely cannot follow, that is where they're going for.
Well, I think so. This actually introduces one of the things that I was going to message you about after this. Is obviously we've been kind of batting around the ideas of instead of using kind of already existing things, kind of like a new race, so to speak, for things like Kaelin and Echo. And one of the things I was thinking about is that similar to like how gnomes and halflings and stuff, they can move in amongst other party members and move through their spaces and such. So one of the things I was thinking of is that this particular race, whatever we call them, I'm working with some kind of like idea of like proteans, something like that. They can move through spaces one size smaller than they are. So you are already small, which means that you can fit through tiny spaces. Which, in a tiny space to be specific, is deemed as something that is, I believe the tiny mark is somewhere within half a foot to, I believe the small threshold is 3 foot.
Something like that.
So half a foot to 3 foot, I believe, is the threshold for tiny.
Tiny is... Come on.
I'm just imagining how cats like can go through anything that their whiskers fit through.
So I originally
And then
took,
you just...
I originally took it from the idea, like, octopi and squid and cuttlefish and such. They can fit
Anything their
through
beak can
any
fit through.
space as long as their beak can get through it. That's it.
Yes, I hate that.
Yeah, so they're
So
my worst fear. Like,
small goes down to 2 feet,
oh, okay. So small,
which is why Echo is 2'6".
right, okay. So you can be, right, okay. So in that case, then I believe it's somewhere like half a foot to 2 foot then. It's not like tiny is fair because like there's like pixies and stuff that are like 6 inches tall. So yeah, we'll just say that comfortable threshold, as long as it is no smaller than half a foot in any direction, you can get through pretty much any of these holes. So yeah, eventually it will get to a point where you can be like, you can fit through like letterboxes and shit. I'm gonna have to come up with a reason for that for that not too much, because I forgot Moradin's door has like one of those wee window things. There's going to be like a grill or something in that, just so you can fit through that. But yeah,
They also won't try.
yeah,
I had a thought.
but like locked rooms and such, like pantries and such that have those little kind of like stained glass window things at the top. Yeah, you can just like push that open and.
Oh, perfect.
So has anybody seen the movie Flubber?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, at the very end where it's just...
Yep. So eventually, Echo, through this manoeuvring, you are able to find some kind of space like that to zip. Whether it's even something like going upstairs through like a small hole in one of the ceilings and such. You're able to get upstairs or into another room or such. Whatever way, you're able to escape Ariel's direct pursuit. Ariel, I am very sorry if they're choosing to essentially take the 10, which is take 10 minutes to ensure success. They're going to outmaneuver you eventually.
That's fine. Ariel's like, wherever Ariel loses them, is just going to stand there being like, you know, eventually you're going to have to talk about this with me.
So, Reaver, as Echo said, you would feel annoyance, but, you know, ultimately nonplussed.
Okay.
Echo, is there anything you want to do when you eventually lose?
I'm going to leave that here for now and toss it to other people to let them do things.
Okay, so we did Ariel. I'll jump back to Ariel quickly because Ariel has done stuff here. Ariel, is there since what's happened now, is there anything you want to do before taking your short rest?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Reaver.
I have reactionary things. I need other things to happen for my things, so I'm just sharpening the blade and watching this all. The only thing I'll give you is how to word it. If Celia bothers to look, Reaver is on threat mode.
So that was actually one of the things I wanted to say. Celia is coming over towards you.
Okay.
And when he comes over to you, he's midway through reading something. And when he gets to you, he raises the volume of his voice a little bit. And he says, "Beasts burdened with the eyes of some greater being, in odd disparities along its entire body." Does that sound like the thing that wrecked the ship?
You didn't tell them.
I didn't tell who.
I'm just going to give the real stink fuck you look.
Do you want to have this out now, or would you rather solve the issue that's going on right now?
What's the issue?
The issue is, what I just read there, does that describe the creature that sunk the Threshers?
All I remember is a giant serpent eye and a giant turtle. Well, bigger than a volcano. That and drowning.
But why the Threshers? If there was something, and at this point they've went on to just vocalising their thoughts out loud. If there was some intent behind one of us, why us? What do we do? What do we have? We weren't carrying anything of major import, were we?
Plenty. But to this thing, no.
So then why would Blunder signal to sink us? What would be the point?
Jealousy. Power.
Let's run with the working theory that he did it because he was told to, for power. Why would they tell him to sink us?
We were all monsters.
So that would make sense if they were recruiting. But we had never thought about venturing beneath the waves. We had never thought about abandoning a life of piracy. We'd never thought about going against the code. So why did we have to sink?
Marisol?
Can I hear all this at this point?
I mean, he's speaking quite loudly, yeah. So
You won't hear what I was saying, no, because at the whole point, like the first thing I said, like that's a dig, and it's like that's me trying to be like respectful of Fed / Celia, but it's, oh, yeah. So you can hear Feather's part, yeah.
What if they needed the parts?
we were all monsters.
We had unbreakable loyalty, and that's going to be slightly venomous.
Okay. Based on what Marisol said, I'm going to say that's close enough to the key phrase I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make a roll. Now, based on what you said, Celia is going to give you like a look, and it's a petty fucking look, right? It's petty.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to go like, sarcastic comments aside, and he's going to look around like, shit, fuck. Echo, Kaelin, one of them. Does Echo answer?
Can we hear?
I mean, he's yelling, so I would say yeah.
Then sure. Echo will probably pop out of a comedically small hole somewhere that they've found.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to ask you to relive any. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the bits. Thank you, Wingo. I'm sorry to ask you to relive any of this, but when they did what they did to you, did any of the pieces look strange, not normal, different? Like, and he's going to look at he's going to look to you, Reaver. He's going to say, when you see Archie, and when Archie gets mad, and his teeth and his hands change, did any of the parts look like that?
Echo's gonna turn to face Feather dead on. We can't see.
Sorry, I often forget that you don't perceive the way we do.
However, there's a different way we may be able to help you. We say we for a reason.
And what way is this?
If there was someone added to us, they are part of us now. We know their names. We hear them. If you are looking for someone and they are part of us, we may be able to help.
I wouldn't know anybody's name if what I'm thinking is true. Then they wouldn't be part of you. They'd be part of someone else. Because something that Reaver said, and then something that Marisol said. We were all monsters. We were all different. We were all stronger or faster or more vicious, or in some way, shape or form we were above the standard. And then Marisol said, what if they needed parts? And then he's going to look to Reaver. What if these things that are being made from us? If
Oh,
Blunder
no.
tells them that some of his closest companions are an undying lich, a being who can separate ego and id in a completely primal show of ferocity, a giant who wields lightning and thunder, and then a pyromaniac. Doesn't that sound like something you would want? Added to an army of infinite possibilities. Picture a creature with your feral instincts, the primal capabilities of a giant, combustion capabilities like we know our lovely, lovely friend had, and then the ability to repair any damage, the ability to continue living no matter what happened to you. And then
I'm going to face through all of you and go straight to Kaelin. Because you've said something that's really got, like, the rage kicking.
Oh God, come on, man.
Ooh.
I'm going to go straight up, face to face like what it was before. When would you last worked on?
And they are going to frown and say, 17 darknesses ago.
Echo has the ability to remember those that were fused to them. Do you have this ability?
We don't remember, we see. We hear. We know, but we do not see what they saw.
Do you know names?
Yes.
I'm going to rip the wheel out of my back.
Okay. So you reach behind yourself and you pull the wheel from the thresher's maw
Yep.
out your back.
Any of the names recognizable?
Excuse me while I look at your map of the names on the wheel.
Yep. Please say no. Please say no.
Where are you? Yes.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh
Two.
boy!
2 of them.
Okay.
He points to the name Whisper. And then he points to the name Quintus. And he says, those symbols look familiar.
Okay, I'm composed enough to put the wheel back in and walk away. as I've turned round, you'll have seen this as Celia. Echo could probably insight it. I don't know about the others. Feel free. It's not going to be like him. It's just this, like that calm silence. For obviously, Celia just knows them. Death. Something's going to die. It is cool. This is happening. You could not convince Archie of anything but killing at this point.
Okay. Then in that case, Celia is going to move towards Archie, or Reaver, whichever one is dominant at the moment, going to put his hand on you, and are you willing or unwilling?
Unwilling.
Unwilling? Okay. So it will not work.
Because I don't know what's happening.
So he's going to say to you, we spar.
Whispering Quintus.
Okay, in that case, he's just going to say, don't fight it. And he's going to try, he's going to try and cast Dimension Door.
He'll trust.
Okay. You and him will Dimension Door 500 feet in a direction. He will pick a direction that leads towards a kind of vacant spot 500 feet away. So as they leave, we'll come back to this, okay? Because this is going to be quite an important part for Reaver, because we've touched on something that Reaver is going to be part of Reaver's character arc. But we've also touched on something that's part of Echo's arc. So I want to hop back towards the Echo thing, okay? So, with the kind of acknowledgement of discovering what your purpose was, Echo, beyond just the becoming a rabid attack dog, beyond the point of being an exceptionally skilled rabid attack dog, but a rabid attack dog nonetheless. You've also discovered that there was a greater purpose, something that seems to bind a lot of the issues, a lot of the problems that are being noted together. Something that seems to be binding the bloodline of Atalan with the reason that you were created, with other things, with the reason Reaver's ship was sunk. Something is starting to weave in together here. But what you've also just seen, and what I think you would also hear, because you and you know kind of what Reaver has on that wheel. You also know that if you know the names of those inside you, Kaelin probably does as well. And you also seen Kaelin point at two parts on that wheel. So for you, I'm going to say that you know enough to put the pieces together, that two people of the crew in the Thresher's Maw are inside Kaelin. What does Echo have in reaction to that? And Ariel and Marisol, be ready. I'm going to come to you guys in the space of the next few minutes.
There's a few things, but the first thing that happens is Echo goes up to Kaelin and asks, "Did you hear them speak?"
And Kaelin will frown at that, and he will say, "Not all the time. They used to. And then, after they found us speaking to you, they took us in. And that was when we stopped hearing you."
They took you in.
And they will.
Ooh.
They turn their head and they have like gills on the side of their neck, like those kind of very obvious gills, and they're going to turn and they lift like the gill flap, and you can see at the base of their skull is what you are covered in the same way Kaelin was covered in them, a surgical scar. This is them referring to when their free will was taken away. Was when they figured out, oh, Kaelin has free will. He's actively conversing with Echo. Let's remove that.
The names for that, before all of it, you had free will up until recently.
Yes.
When we spoke, you had free will.
Yes. We wanted to know more about you. We wanted to know more about what we were supposed to be better than.
The names you pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard them speak?
Yes, but not just them. One of them speaks and also has others speak with them.
Speak to us like them. We need to hear it.
Okay. At that point, he will imitate. His voice will change and become quite young sounding. Kind of like young teenager, but speaks with a sense of wisdom far beyond their age. But as they speak, there's like the almost like a harmonization of whispers in some language you don't understand. The second time they speak with quite you could almost say dainty accent. Quite trilly. I mean, not to make a callback to earlier on, but you hear this voice and you would immediately think you definitely wore pastels. Like, absolutely. But then he will stop and, like, mid-sentence, he'll stop and just say, that would be when they usually started screaming.
That makes sense. And as Echo would listen, a little ways in, Echo would start to mumble things in the same mimicked voice.
Okay.
To lock it in so that they would be able to do the same.
Okay. So we'll say similar to like the actor feat, you spend a minute hearing this voice, now you can imitate it. Okay? Now what go ahead. If there's anything else you want to do.
That was the first of two.
Okay.
No, brain. Give it back to me. So I can watch it going, and I'm like, oh no, come back. Oh, right. The next thing Echo will do is they will look towards Kaelin. Is there any chance whatsoever of you getting free will back?
And they will nod and say, yeah, yes, we know what it looked like.
So it can be returned to you.
If we can find it.
there's that conflictedness
Mhm.
within them once more, and they turn away and then turn back. And they will hold out a hand. In a gesture that's fairly clear for Kaelin to take, but as they hold out the hand, they speak.
Mhm.
If we can find your free will, and things go well, perhaps we can give it back. If not, you could become one with us.
Kaelin doesn't say anything. They just kind of like cock their head in thought, thinking. But they don't give an answer.
Echo clocks that. And they make a soft kind of sound, but they leave it as it is. And that is them.
Okay. So what I'd like to do now is, I know I've said it a few times, but you know, other stuff has happened, some other things have come out. So Ariel, I do want to go to yourself, because there's something that I do want to see. I want to see something. I ask you for the third time, is there anything that you would like to look to, do, voice, before your short rest?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find Marisol.
Okay.
Marisol is still here. Marisol has not moved. Marisol is in shock. Marisol really didn't want to be right.
Hey, Cat, you good?
I so deeply wanted to be wrong. Oh God. Oh. Reaver's going to kill so many people.
I mean, that's par for the course when it comes to Reaver.
He's gonna kill a lot of people for Reaver. And I'm not saying he shouldn't, because he absolutely should. But it is going to be... Oh, it is going to be scary.
What happened? I left to chase Echo and then...
Okay, so... We started asking Kaelin questions about the purpose around why he was being made, where he was being made, etc. He said that they were making something to put in a bottle. We figured out that meant vessel. The thing that they are building a vessel for was a being of many eyes.
Yeah, Echo came to me about that.
While you guys were chasing each other around, you know, Catfish and Minnow all like, Feather came out with a book discussing, I'm assuming the creature or deity in question of many eyes, asking Reaver if it sounded like what sunk the Thresher's maw. They started discussing how it did and trying to figure out why Blunder would have wanted the ship sunk. What could be the purpose of that? why would this organization want these monstrous crew at the bottom of the ocean? And I said out loud, what if they needed parts? And Reaver went over to Caleb with his ship wheel that has all his crewmates' names on it to ask if Kalen knew the people they were made out of. And Kalen said yes, and identified 2 of Reaver's shipmates as people that they were made of. So, we have a much clearer idea of how everything is connecting.
Oh, Reaver's gonna kill a lot of people.
Reaver is going to kill so many people. Reaver is going to rip himself apart and put himself back together again just to rip apart again with how many people he is going to kill.
Yeah, that's Reaver's gonna pop off like a depth charge in this place.
Yes, Feather took Reaver to, I think, Spar, and I mean, that seems dangerous, but probably the best idea any of us have at this exact moment.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I so deeply wanted to clear up.
Yeah, I get it.
But I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. I don't like how everything is connecting.
Yeah. Here's a thought. Why, if you're cool with it, you want to just go for a walk around the city and help clear your head, get some fresh water?
It's not a bad idea.
Let's walk around.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna walk around the city for a little bit, just so Marisol can decompress.
Okay. Anything that you want to do beyond that?
At the moment, no.
No?
Not until like after we finish a rest.
Okay. So then, as far as I've confirmed it, Echo, Ariel, Marisol, you guys are all moving at this point to rest.
Yes.
Or is there things that people still want to do? Is that it, right? Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our 15-minute break. And when we come back, we're going to go to Reaver and Celia having their conversation. And we will go from where that is after that. I think more lore than I planned for is going to get dropped in this now because of people are hitting key phrases. So don't go anywhere, folks. We will see you guys when we come back after our 15-minute break. Hello there, folks, and welcome back. Oh, we have one of those nasty people, and that you were just going to ban you. There we go. We are back with part 2. Now, when we left off, 3 of 4 of our party had went to go sleep, but Reaver had shown a tendency to want to kill something at this moment in time, and so Celia had used Dimension Door to poof the both of them 500 feet away. So Reaver, you materialise in amongst a thick, like, patch of kelp and seaweed and, you know, undersea blooms. And immediately upon you guys manifesting there, Celia is going to use a Misty Step to just 30 feet back, and he's just going to say to you, "You're pissed. And not only are you pissed at me, you're pissed at something else. So you want to kill something? Then kill me. Because I'll pop back in a day or two."
Perception check. I want to know if anything else is around us.
Nope.
Reaver's body is going to collapse. Like, just, not like disassemble itself, but like literally just like knee down, sink, and fall. And Archie is coming out, screaming and crying.
At Archie being the one that comes out, Celia instinctively brings their staff, like, you know, summons their staff into their hands and like lifts it, knowing full well that their staff can't actually hurt Archie.
Mm-hmm.
But as he lifts it and he sees the cry, and he goes, "I'm not entirely too used to seeing you crying, so you're going to have to try and vocalize something here."
I'll try. Okay. You'll get some parts. Fucking parts. And then he's just going to hit to his own knees and just keep crying.
I think, honestly, for the first time, I think Celia's wordless. I mean, one, he's never seen Archie cry before, so that's kind of like throwing him a curveball. But two, Celia's seen some shit. I mean, obviously as a lich, he has seen shit and also done shit, but this is, you know, literally talking about harvesting parts from people. And he just... You said Quintus and Whisper.
Rolling. No, fail. He's just going to scream, "Parts? You want parts? Fucking take them!" And is going to try, but probably won't because of the spirit, and just tear apart his own teeth from like the chest plate and like just tear apart the parts of Reaver.
Okay,
like,
so
because spirit can't.
You try and put your hands on the, and they just go through. And Feather is gonna stand. Not Feather, sorry. Celia's gonna stand and watch this and just like. You can't do it, Archie. Okay? You can't. You can't pull Reaver apart. No less than I can kill Feather.
Rage.
Okay.
And it's still just going to keep trying to tear at this body, but just Nothing
So
happens.
you
Teeth.
rage, the teeth, the claws, the arched back, the hunched neck muscles. But again, every time you grab at those teeth, your hands just pass through. And eventually Feather is going to I keep saying I'm so used to saying Feather. He's put Feather behind him. Eventually Celia is just going to like, Archie, I need you to stop.
Buddy, the dice are saying nothing more than 5 at the moment.
Okay?
And again, the more it goes, if anyone's ever seen like horrific crying that you can't even speak, you just hear that gasp of breath, and the tears it's just going more and more.
So every time, so when you say that, I immediately think of like, I don't know if you've ever seen Underworld: Rise of the Lycans.
No.
It's honestly the most like, people talk about like the best no moment in movie history, like, you know, that big long drawn out no, like that thing. And Underworld 3: Rise of the Lycans has it for me. Guy watches his vampire wife get like burned right in front of him, and the fucking scream that comes out of Michael Sheen's mouth is god's awful. It's horrific. But anyway, so with that, Celia's going to let the scream get to its kind of natural end point, or as much of an end as can be detected, and he's going to say, Archie, I need you to stop.
Hey, there we go. Claws go back, teeth sink in, and he's just sat there on his knees, defeated. Still crying.
And you'd be able to hear the kind of deep, like, inhale, like, you know, that breath you take in before you're about to say something that might be taken is quite cruel, but it's like the thing that has to be said. He's going to take that breath and he's going to say, there's nothing you can do, Archie. You can't help. You can't save. But Reaver can. Reaver can use your rage alongside their need for revenge, and we can get vengeance for all of them. But you need Reaver's focus. Otherwise, you'll hurt someone, and then you'll be no better than them.
They called me lesser.
Who?
Quintus. Whisper.
Kaelin. It's not Quintus. And it's not Whisper. They're dead.
How do you know? Have you seen how Echo works? Like I have? Have you heard the thousands of voices in them? They're still fucking there.
Do they feel anything?
They ask thousands of questions.
Can they
at the
feel
same
the wind
moments.
on their face?
I don't know. That's a question for Echo. I believe so. They're all one.
They were cut up into tiny pieces, and the best parts of them were taken out and put into other people. They're dead Are you going to hold out some belief that Tinderbox is alive? That Grumble's alive? Are you going to continue on with this mission to try and find our friends? Because we're it. We are what's left, and even we are not the people that went down in that ship anymore.
I get that. But fucking parts? We had a home. For once, all of us had safety. And we're just fucking parts to them.
Don't know what you want me to say, Archie.
What the fuck am I supposed to do, Celia? I got a promise to Echo. I'll keep him safe. Do what I need to do till we both die. But on the other hand, I want to burn it all. Lucy's dad wants to fucking use that place. Lucy's like...
Go ahead.
Lucy's like family in the way that the crew are. But our own flesh and blood wants to use it for the benefit of the fucking world or some shit. Our crew. Our blood and death for nothing else but their own gain.
Is this somehow your first inclination towards the fact that evil exists?
No. How do I choose to kill Lucy's dad if they try and take that shit away when I want to burn it all? How do I choose between my word and what I think is right?
Well, for one, you do what I do. You gather more information. We talk to Moradin. We tell him what we've discovered. I'm sure he will think differently after that.
I saw how he looked at you. At me.
We are oddities. We're different. We don't know what kind of experiences he's had. Anybody that's met a lich, I'm going to assume it wasn't at a tea party.
Why didn't you tell them?
Why didn't I tell them what?
That you're losing control.
Because when I brought up curing what I am, they told me that they didn't care about what I was. And for that little moment, Feather was quiet. So, I think my best hope at keeping control is being near the people I love. To be near Luce. To be near the crew, to be near Marisol, to be near you, to be near Echo, to be near all of them. So So I didn't tell them because I got my answer. This is how I keep control.
And what if you're wrong?
Then I'll be the one that deals with the consequences of that. But you're always jumping to the bad sides. What if I'm right? What if, like every other conundrum we came up against up there, everybody turned to me? Don't worry about it. Feather will have the answer. Don't worry about how many people we've killed. We need a smart thing to do. Feather will figure it out. What if, like all those times, I'm right?
Where did I put that dice? Yeah, that makes sense with the 6. Archie's going to scream, nothing has went right. Like it's apparently fucking supposed to. Some little fucking halfling is taunting me. Celia. Fuckers called Desmond of all things. Remember how you said luck don't exist? It's bullshit? No, this little fucker's playing me like a fiddle. Everything is going wrong. Like apparently it's supposed to. I've been told I'm going to remember this all and watch everything burn around me.
And you're just going to take that?
Fuck no. But what am I supposed to do when I'm watching all these things line into place?
Oh, will that count? I'm going to have to make a roll to see if that counts. It's close, but it's not exactly exact.
But wait, it's if what counts, Bran?
Yeah.
Oh, this is already sad as fuck.
Okay. When you say that, Celia is going to look at you quizzically and say, you said a halfling?
Yeah. Some halfling on the beach telling me just get out of the way and die. Bigger things I'm getting in the way of it. And when I told him I'd fucking kill him, I ended up at some black pyramid in the desert. And I died over 1,000 times trying to kill this fucking mummy or whatever. I keep hearing the clock.
The pocket watch.
I don't know. Maybe?
You said his name was Desmond.
Yeah.
Did he tell you another name?
No. Fucking smiled at me. Like I should know something. So I tried to rip his head off.
I don't know who he is. I know someone who might. But you're not gonna like it. One time when you were all off doing your thing and me and her got to speaking, we got to talking about sources of magic. She mentioned that her patron, she made allusions to him being short in stature. She jokingly called him Mr. Tiny.
I already know Lily works for the fucker. And apparently I'm not the first that she's done this to.
So then...
You ask?
So then what if she has answers?
If she does, so what? How do we trust that?
We make sure she can't lie.
You asked about the ship. Why our ship was targeted.
Yep.
Desmond revealed I was the fucking focal point. Lily picked me. And her and Blunder fucking sank us all.
Did we ever find your body?
No. All I know is I fucking sank watching the ship get snapped like a twig.
We only found Grumble's hand.
That's right.
They never got any part of me.
Any luck? Tinderbox blew themselves up? Though I swear they were impervious to fire or something. I just...
I think we need to try and find your body.
Okay. Something else happened. As you can clearly see, he just like holds up like a spectral hands. I've got me. I know what Ariel tastes like. I don't know how.
You're connected to Echo. Could it be through that? I mean,
Maybe.
it's no secret that Echo's taken a chomp at a few of us.
Sure, but
You've seen a black pyramid.
covered in sands with some guy with a cup.
Since you tasted Ariel, have you had cravings?
Or
Hot fudge sundaes. Blood, flesh.
this is the first time I've had a second to think.
Okay.
I
so
almost
think.
not since then when I tore into Luce.
Okay. So I'm only going to say this once, because I'm going to hold out judgment and assume that you're still my friend. But if you try and take a chomp out of any of the people here, I will let Feather out. And the last time I checked, Souls, that's a Lich's main playground. The entity you're speaking about is called the Bloody Pharaoh.
Oh, I actually rolled high on a history for once. Didn't Chomper fucking prattle about that?
That lizard folk was cracked, but yes. He used to try and get his attention, failed miserably all the time. His worshippers take part in acts of vampirism, cannibalism, mass murder, slaughter, the whole shebang. If he's got his eyes on you, if you've seen that pyramid, you're walking a dangerous path.
What do you suggest? And I'm going to stand up.
Archie goes back into Reaver?
Not yet.
No.
Archie's getting off his knees though from like the crowd. Like it's the calm more coming back.
I suggest that you temper your rage. I'm not saying your rage doesn't have its place. Be angry. God, I'm angry. I want to do what you want to do. I want to turn an eye and let Feather take control and rip every one of their souls out of their bodies. But Celia knows that's a bad idea. Celia knows that causes more damage. Turn that rampant wildfire into a controlled dragon's breath. Use Reaver's focus, and we work together. We get Echo their answers. We get Kaelin their answers, because they deserve them just as much. We get revenge for all of them. And then once that's done, we go and we find Lily and we figure out the answers.
Fucking hearts, man. And I'm just gonna literally force through like Archie, like have the body like just snap up. And just swallow Archie in.
I know.
And they said we were monsters.
You remember Lump? How he used to always go and whine about not being finished?
Yeah, I gave him a bunch of weapons. Always cheered him up.
I never thought I'd look at him and think he's the lucky one.
You know how you say I shouldn't think any are still alive?
Yeah?
There's one I think might be. Though they're too fucking thick-headed to be found, I imagine.
You mean Anchor?
I didn't see him when I sank. Maybe we were docked. Maybe we were sleeping for the night, I don't know.
I mean, what would they get from him? He's made of stone.
I don't know. Just some sort of fucking lining out of this shite.
You know where the other parts of the ship are, right?
Used to. Gave him to the silverfish. Killed the reef walker that carried it. Don't know what silverfish did. Don't know if Deep Tide took it. Just had different goals back then.
I need to learn a spell. If I can figure out this spell, and I'm fairly sure I can find things. But if the silverfish has it, we already planned on killing them, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Even Ariel acquiesced.
How did they tie into this? How does a silverfish tie into all of this?
What do you know?
About the silverfish, nothing more than what you know.
No, the other stuff. Echo was collecting you all, and I was waiting for them to talk to me because something's happening there.
Oh. Echo and Kaelin were designed with each other's flaws in mind. Something about Echo being perfect, but being too condensed, and Kaelin being not perfect, but being large enough. And apparently, if you put both of them together, you have the perfect vessel for something. We're working with the theory that right now the Chaos Serpent, you know, that thing that Atalan fought and locked away before he died?
Yeah, Luce talked about it.
There's something about the removal of free will. Kaelin's had his free will removed. Apparently that means that if you don't have free will, you are the prime vessel for being possessed, because you need to be willing. So we think that they're trying to put the entity of the end, the walking apocalypse, inside a custom-built body with, by what it's sounding like, all the best parts of all of us and more than us, and then with its lack of free will, use it to basically stormfront their ways all over.
When you say that Kaelin didn't have free will, there will be the tiniest of shifts in something, like in the body language, something like that's been acknowledged. That's a new fact.
Okay.
Echo used to work for the silverfish. Echo was used by the silverfish. And we know that the silverfish has been extending life somehow. They're also the child of one of these high Sicalian 12 or something, I think, or the 8, one of the two. Luce knows more, I just kill. I think it was the 12, because Luce was saying that they didn't want to be near them.
Kaelin said that they've moved to a place where the 12 are.
Alright, well... point of direction.
I think we need to get back. Figure out our next step with the rest of our friends. And then we pick a direction.
It's not my place. But you've told, and it's not like sarcastic, but like the acknowledge of like, you didn't actually fully speak. You've told Luce. You need to tell Marisol. They're a cleric of death, man.
I don't even know what there is there, so...
Just saying.
If it goes anywhere, then yeah, of course I'll tell them. But... right now, who needs to know, knows. But I think I've found my way.
I'll trust you. But I want you to understand why I'm being this way. And I'm going to tap my head, like, go see my thoughts.
Okay, he will connect that telepathic link.
Does he do the detect thoughts?
Yeah, he'll detect
If that's what
thoughts. He'll detect thoughts.
Yeah, the thing you said, I'm never doing that again. Let's go.
Okay. Are you willing to let him...
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Okay, so he's going to probe right into all the nooks and crannies.
I'm going to think about when Archie found out that he tried to rip your heart out. And I'm going to let you see how Archie reacted. As in the panic attack, the collapsing in the alleyway, like the fear. Now imagine you come back after a Lich episode and it's Marisol or Luce.
I understand. But that's not the worry. It's not the same.
Of course not. Craving something to the nth degree that you'll kill even your best friends.
But Feather,
No, it's not at all.
But Feather needs to have a rein on me. Why would he remove, as far as he's concerned, the two things that are going to keep me leashed?
They don't have to be alive to do so.
But they do.
He shrugs. I don't understand Lich works. I just know you control undead.
With you, it's like a struggle for control. It's a constant fight using strength of will. With me and Feather, it's like a chess game. But it's always a stalemate. We have the same mind. Every time he outplays me, I outplay him back. I understand your worry. I need you to know that for the moment this is working. And as soon as it isn't working, then I'll look for another solve. But for now, this is working.
Okay.
Now, and he's going to put his hand out. Do we go back? Or do you still need to kill something?
I'm going to perception check around. 22. Is there anyone listening or anything around us?
Not insofar as you can see.
Okay. That always concerns me.
Just the way I have to word it.
Yeah, I know.
Still the worst wording.
He just looks, I'm not going to kill you because then you're going to have to eat more and feed more. It's fucking. They say people are bad. I'm just going to take the hand
And he'll dimension door you both right back. Is there, Reaver, is there anything that you want to do before resting at this point?
I'm going to probably terrify all the others by just immediately going back, grabbing the knife, and just sharpening the blade again without saying a word.
As they come back, you and Celia have been having a conversation, so they've all went to their rest at this point. So you poof back
good point.
The room is empty except for Kaelin curled up in the corner of the ceiling.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Echo, are you with Kaelin?
Echo's not leaving Kaelin unattended yet. They
Cool.
They frankly don't trust the rest of the party with him yet.
Okay.
Or him with the rest of the party. There is no trust either way. So.
Yep.
Ariel?
Yeah, Ariel's still in the room with Echo and Kaelin, and it's just this, like, since our prime magic user left and our biggest muscle left, Ariel's kind of been, like, watching out for everyone.
Okay.
So it's just chilling in the room with Echo and Kaelin.
Barris, are you sleeping?
I think I am.
Okay.
Smart.
Based on the last couple of times that rest has been had, Luce is probably asleep next to Marisol as well.
Aww.
So that's just the way they've been like the rests have went the past couple of times. So
It's still cute.
So when they come back, Celia, with that telepathic detect thoughts still up, is going to look to Kaelin, look at you, and then just say, and that might, so they're not speaking out loud, she's going to say, you know, it's not his fault, right? If they're inside him, he didn't choose that.
Oh, you're still detect thoughts and not turn. That's not been turned off. Cool. Do you like the memory lane of just all the times that the crew is just playing in his head as he looks at Kaelin? Oh. And it just heartbroken. And then, but again, with the movement silent, just picking up the blade and just sharpening it.
And Feather's going to walk over to Marisol and Luce, and kind of like maneuver himself into his usual position, which is... So, Marisol, correct me if I'm wrong, usually when you guys go to rest, Marisol is like her head in Luce's lap?
Yes, that is definitely a favorite.
Okay. So he'll kind of like go into his sitting position and just kind of gently kind of lift Marisol so that the lower part of their body is across his lap, and then kind of take Luce's head onto his shoulder and just to assume his position and just kind of sit there like, yep, this is it. That's
wonderful.
That's artwork that I want to see. I want to see the art of the three of them in their, like, just assume the position, the usual sleeping position.
The throuple cuddle puddle. After my short rest, can I go to Reaver?
Unless Reaver is resting, because remember that you do need at least 6 hours of unbroken rest for a long rest to count.
I need 4.
For a long rest, yeah.
Yeah. Read how my rest works again, because I think it's similar to the
very,
moon thing.
very much in the same as like Warforged, as long as you are doing minimal activity, which the way I look at that is anything you can do while sitting.
Yeah. So I'm just going to keep sharpening the weapon. If you want to speak, you can speak.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this. Hi.
No answer.
Yeah, I figured. I know we don't have the best relationship between each other, but I can tell when something's bugging somebody. Do you want to talk or someone to listen? And feel completely free to tell me to go fuck myself.
The blade's going to keep sharpening. And he'll look at you. What do you want?
Just to help.
Every time I have tried to help you, you have ignored my advice.
And I'm trying to be better.
And when meeting one of the two people who have set my life into eternal hell that you knew about, you asked, were they my friend?
Yeah. Wrong choice of words. I didn't know if this was the person you were talking about. I've never seen them before. Trying to get confirmation that they were in fact an enemy. And I'm sorry.
It's not your... I've had enough of people to... I only want the company of monsters right now.
Fair enough. Well, the offer stands if you ever change your mind.
Why did Echo bite you? I know what you taste like.
How? How do you know?
Why did Echo bite you, Ariel?
So, earlier when Echo left, and Echo was scared and having a bit of a panic attack, Echo ran out into the city proper, where there was a lot of people, and there was a lot of noise, and it is very overstimulating, especially for someone like Echo who's not done with that. So, I put myself between all that distraction and Echo. Try and put his focus on something that is familiar. And Echo did what Echo does. And got a bit bitey. Trying to keep themselves safe from perceived threat. And whatever was in front of them got in the way. I just so happened to be what was in front of them. He's doing fine. They were able to acclimate a little bit better to the crowded space and all the people. They just had to get the emotions out. That's why Echo bit me.
You should find a gorget.
A what?
It's something that'll cover your neck.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if this sounds strange, but I think I know a place where I might be able to get some free clothes.
Okay.
At the big house in the kelp farms. You remember when we passed it, heading in here?
Not really, no. I was watching for guards or attackers. A
Apparently that
dying echo was a bit of my priorities.
I'm ashamed to say that I was a bit distracted coming into the city. Because that is apparently my family home. That is where I was born.
How am I going to word this? Not one. Okay.
Oh boy. Love that.
Oh no.
Our priorities will not align. I know how to keep my home safe. It's only right you'd look at yours.
I'm glad
I
you
don't
have-
blame you.
I'm glad you have a home.
Stop. You have a home, you just... You're going to see Reaver attempt to do a breath in a lungless body.
I know. I have a multitude of homes. I care deeply for this little family. I care for Echo, Marisol, and Feather. You and Luce are brash assholes. But I still care for you guys. You are the best family I've had in this lifetime. But at the same time, there is Father telling me to come back home. There was a home I made at the edge of the abyss. There was a home I was born in. I am a person with multiple families and multiple homes. And I'm just trying to make sense of it and feel like I belong.
You've got it the wrong way round, Ariel. At least in my perspective. You have many places to belong, but there's only one home. You need to make a choice what that is. Find something worth putting everything into, and that will lead you to home. Doesn't matter which place you belong in that it will be in. Just know that if it's with Father and that, I'm going to kill you.
Well, I can tell you right now that will never be an option at all.
Then that's one off the list.
I don't think my little cottage is going to be home anymore either.
Oh, no, that's a wreck. Either that's a hag's haven or that place has been burned to the ground.
Yeah.
Can things burn underground? That's a wreck.
Yeah. I'm gonna look around. Is anyone actively listening? I know Marisol and Luce are asleep. Are Feather and Echo or Kalen, are they paying any attention?
Feather has not Feather. Sorry, Celia has been practicing how to trance like elves can do. So he can hear, but he's probably not taking in anything that's going on. Kalen doesn't have eyelids, so he's doing this really, really disconcerting thing where he's all coiled up and he's actively snoring, but his eyes are wide open. Like those horrible, all blue eyes with those little black pinprick pupils are just there, but just like...
It just...
Pretty much, yeah, that's exactly what Kalen is like. Yes,
That's
Kalen.
horrifying, and I hate it, and I love it. Is Echo paying attention? Or is this one of the 15-minute naps Echo has?
People got back, so Echo's either woken up or hasn't gone to sleep yet. Echo's not actively paying attention, but Echo's passive perception is 23, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
See,
That's true.
It's really weird because you said people got back, and I immediately went, people got back.
The ass entered the room? I don't know.
I mean, the ass has always been in the room.
That's one way you could describe them, yeah.
Reaver and Celia came back, and immediately people were like, that's the surface's ass.
That's the Thresher's Maw's ass.
Literally, that is the Thresher's Maw's ass.
You didn't hear this from me, and if you say anything about it, I will deny it to my death. I love this family. I'd rather enjoy it. I would very much like to keep it. The house in the kelp field is... it's more of a way of learning. Figuring out where I came from. I never knew any of that. It'd just be nice to know.
I am going to, sorry Morden, stab my blade into the floor.
Okay.
Another nat one?
I rolled a 5.
God damn it! Dice, let us love each other.
You're getting fucked by these dice today, Kyle.
Right?
Listen,
kidding.
hey, it's not combat, let's go.
I'm about to send you new dice.
Mood. We are not friends, Ariel.
Yeah, I know.
No, you keep lying. You will say that if I tell people that you care about them, you'll deny it. You're a fucking idiot.
I didn't say if you told them I cared about them, I'd deny it. I told you if you tell them I'd love them. That's a whole different thing.
No, it's not. And that's your issue. You grew up in hell, to my understanding, so you don't understand Chaos. Love is a part of Chaos, you blithering idiot. Luce and I don't like you because you're secretive and tricksy. You want us to trust and respect you? be honest. It's really not hard.
It's honestly easy for you to say.
I'm gonna stand up. Do you want to talk about an easy thing?
To be honest, I was punished for being honest for 100 years. I'm sorry if I'm not the best at it.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. I'm not gonna punish you for lying. I'm not captain, I'm not the crew. I'm just me now. But I'm telling you, if you want my respect and eventually friendship, it's very simple. Otherwise, let's keep butting heads.
I want to go to the house. I want to see where I came from.
Nothing wrong with that. Let the rest get some rest.
I don't need as much rest. I don't think there's going to be anything dangerous about it. And if there is, I can pop back. Keep an eye on him. You don't have to come with me if you don't want to.
I don't want to have to make you stay, Ariel. So I'm going to say this. Because I'm really tired and I've had a day you don't even want to think about. People care about you. And if you go out on your own after us fucking with whatever the fuck organization made Echo and Kalen, whilst your fake asshole cult dad father and Fish are still hunting for you, we are attempting a assassination on the Silverfish soon, and you're also technically a little bit injured, to my knowledge.
No, I'm actually pretty good on hit points, or in a manner of speaking, I am full.
Bully for you. My point is, hearing is a group thing. And if I admit that I let you walk out on your own, I am going to get into something called a chaos mosh pit where all of them are going to beat me up. Or try. I don't know. They'd be quite scared of me with how I am right now. That's fair. The point is really simple. They will be angry that you went out on your own because it's not safe. We will support you. Have a cup of tea if you're nervous. Learn how to care for your weapons now that you use them.
No. It'd be better if everyone came with me.
That's the first smart thing you said this conversation.
Thanks.
Keep it up.
Well, I think I might pair a smart decision with might be a dumb one. I'm gonna look over, like, Reaver. No, I'm not gonna make the dumb decision. I'm gonna try something a bit smarter. Speaking of weapons, and keeping them. Do you think we could spend like an hour and you can walk me through some like training?
No,
Okay.
I'll kill you. And that's not like any anger or like threat, like that's worry.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I was gonna ask for a spar, but that would have been a bad question. Okay. Then I'm gonna go and practice. Thank you. It's not easy for me to ask for advice, and you have always been bluntly, assholishly honest.
I do my best.
Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna turn and walk towards the courtyard.
Okay.
Spend about an hour slow moving through fighting styles, and then I am going to like take the little like seated crisscross applesauce by the doorway of the courtyard, and then reflect on the conversation and eventually go into my trance.
Okay. And is that it for everybody before actively going into the rest?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, we're going to leave it there and come into the morning and going to, or Ariel at least, going to the house in the morning for next session, okay? I don't want to rush that. I want to give that the time it deserves. But I am going to leave you with something. Or, well, I'd say I'm going to leave you with something. I'm not going to leave you with something. I'm going to leave Marisol with something.
Oh boy.
Why?
As you all settle into your rests, Marisol, your dreams take whichever kind of state your dreams usually take. You see what you usually see, all that. And then just like a snapshot, you can see the Salt Vale. The place that all who call the Nine Bodies home must pass through to go on to the next place. You can see everybody lined up in front of the Vale. Reaver, Ariel, Echo, Kaelin, Celia, Luce, all of them, everybody, all lining up in front of it. And floating above them, you can see that formless, almost like sea slug-like nothingness, boundless shape that you understand to be Sahara. And next to them, you can see that six-winged, humongous storm ray that you recognize to be Tyto. But you don't hear the whispers that you usually hear from Sahara. You don't hear the thunder. You don't feel the push of the swell of the storm from Tyto. But what you will hear is this resounding crack. And that stone frame that is built around the veil, you see it start to crack and crumble. And as it crumbles, all of them at the same time, even Echo, who does not have eyes, they all open their eyes to show serpentine, yellow eyes with hourglass-like pupils. The same with Taito. And directly in the centre of Sahalu, a huge eye manifests in that shape. And then you can physically see the veil tear down the middle. And as it tears, you don't see the whole thing tear down the middle, but you see it begin to tear, and from behind that tear you see another eye. But this eye is attached to something scaled. And that is where we will end today's session. Thank you very much to everybody that came to see us today. Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody that thank you to everybody for your comments and for your chats in the chat. It's always good when they get involved, it really is. And thank you to my players for their fucking astounding RP today, especially fucking not to single everybody out, but I always like to give a wee call out when somebody's done something astounding, especially fucking Kyle with that fucking heartbreaking Reaver shit.
Get this man some awards.
Honestly, man, the phrase "fucking parts" will actually haunt me for a while now because of that. But yeah, it's so fucking well done. Honestly, well done, Kyle. Honestly, tremendous.
Also, to any of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the sadness.
Yeah. Usually I'm not that sad.
Yeah, usually it's off to other people.
If you've enjoyed what you've seen today, go and check out all of our social medias. I'm actually getting better at posting on them. I'm actually doing stuff now. So go and check out all of our social medias at World Tree Quests on pretty much everything. Come and see our other games that we have. We've got games on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, soon, and Sunday. Another thing is, if you want to get involved in this shtick, all you got to do is go to our Twitter at World Tree Quests. Go to the pinned post and you'll see this lovely application form for the Dragon Age TTRPG campaign, which we will be running. It's going to be so fucking good. Please get involved in it, but also be aware that Dragon Age is a dark fantasy TTRPG. There will be dark themes very, very, very noticeably present, and I am looking for 18 plus players, so please go do that. And I'm going to pass over now to all of my lovely players and allow them to plug their shit. One thing I'm going to say is, one of our players isn't here, so you should definitely go and follow Madness Diamond on all of their socials, all of their things, because they're always involved. They run quite a few things for quite a few channels, so you should go and see their stuff, because Madness is truly one of the best people in the TTRPG community, and I will die on that hill. Well, actually, I won't die on that hill because I'm a decent scrapper, so I'll probably win.
Yep. We'll fight and defend that hill.
So yeah, go check out Madness Diamond and all their amazing things. Kyle, is there anything that you want to plug at all?
Hello, I am just Kyle. I do usually the other side of this. I'm usually the DM. If you would like to hire me for a campaign, you can find me at startplaying.justkyle. I run 5e. I'm looking to run most of the week. I'll be running Eldritch Armada when it finally releases. And I've got 3 campaigns currently looking for players, if my brain is counting correctly. The 2 more Wednesday and the Sunday campaign that we start, which will be a full Tyranny of Dragons campaign. So you can like Tiamat, Bahamut, all that fun stuff. But you like it being added on to with extra stuff with homebrew and like having your own storylines match into the main storyline, please come by. We've got 4 out of 6 players signed on to that, and we will be starting this session 0 this Sunday. Please do come check it out.
Fantastic, thank you very much for that, Kyle. Moving right along, we are going to go to Selkie. Anything that you want to plug at all?
See how much of the spiel I actually do.
You got this, bestie.
Oh boy, I do a lot. So if I'm missing anything, go check my socials. They're all over there. But I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time, which is you should absolutely go check out Kyle on Start Playing. Kyle is a phenomenal GM whose praises I cannot sing enough. I'm gonna start doing this every time. You're gonna have to deal with it. So if you are looking for campaigns to be run by someone who is absolutely brilliant at storytelling, Kyle is the person you want to go to. I am also on Start Playing. My stuff has not been put up quite yet. We're working on that. We might get that up this week. I'm only doing one-shots right now. That might change after PAX, but right now I'm only doing one-shots. You can find me running Alice is Missing. So if you want to test out that game system, come find me. I'm running Monster of the Week, Glitter Hearts, things like that. I probably won't run 5e at all. But the one-shots that you can find me running are going to be Escape from Wonderland, which is going to be a very escape room-esque puzzle type one-shot where you are in fact escaping from Wonderland. And 2, I'm going to leave some vague details on this. It's going to be a FNAF themed one-shot. Are you going to be running from the animatronics? Are you going to be the animatronics? You'll have to find out soon enough. So I run stuff like that. I run the absolutely unhinged one-shots. That's me over there. But in addition to that, I am on multiple streams, so you can find me on Tuesdays over on Dinner and a Game playing Emerald Sanctums. Madness Diamond is also on that. I play Fia Kramirin, who is a Macaulay pirate captain, so Lizard Boyo. And Diamond plays Bay, a wonderful hunter who is going through it just constantly. Once in a Blue Moon on Wednesdays. You can also find me on Dinner and a Game playing in Miss Liss's game, where I get to play Calyx. Calyx is my weird shadow creature kind of guy who just dies all the time, and you get to see where he dies. It's a whole thing. If you know Little Misfortune, kind of those vibes. Just less naive and more flat out murdery. Once in a Blue Moon on Tuesdays, still on Dinner and a Game if Emerald Sanctum isn't running. Renowned runs Crawfish of the Bitter End. I play Virchile, who is an actual angel. Just a goth angel that wears a lot of fishnet in various places. Lots of piercings, very spit in the face of actual deities and actual god and all that kind of stuff. It's a whole thing. Was trailed behind a car on a leash because it got stuck at one point. Is also a vampire's familiar. There's a whole lot of wacky shit going on there. I highly recommend checking it out. There's been 2 episodes up thus far. So if you want to watch those, by all means. And obviously on Thursdays you can find me right here playing Echo, your favorite little amalgamation. Then every other Friday, including this Friday, we're finally coming back on Dinner and a Game playing Cyberpunk Red, where I play Jester, who is a completely covered, completely masked jester, circus performer, who's a rocker boy, who has at this point become the group's cryptid. They got him a perch. He has an owl theme going on. It's a whole thing. He has actual owl feet. He has an articulated tail that moves. Think the tails from the imp tails from Hell of a Boss. It's that vibe. A lot of weird things going on. And then I can't talk too much about what's going to start happening on Saturdays. But you'll know that I guess I haven't technically made this full announcement, but Vampire the Masquerade Endless Nights that I was playing on Saturdays is no longer running. I do have another project that will be kicking up on that here soon-ish. I don't know. But I can't talk about that yet. Though I'm very, very excited for it. Very, very excited for it. It's been a lot of my brain rot recently. And I'm also part of a project along with the wonderful Madness Diamond called the Everbright Archive, where a group of kind of interdimensional, interplanar, inter-everything bards who are kind of deities, kind of entities of their own right, come together in a multi-system, multi-campaign anthology, but in a podcast version. The socials are all up already. The Ko-fi is up. We are doing some really cool shit. The trailer has dropped. We've all cosplayed our Bardsonas. all on our individual socials. So if you see Rabbit pop up anywhere, that's one half of my Bardsona. Fopator will be coming later. So if you want to see what your nightmares look like, you'll see that soon. Then Diamond has Jemmy up on their account. Sphinx obviously has the champion. Sweet Tea has Tyzon, and Bernersa has Odile. They are all phenomenal. Please go check them all out. They have put so much effort into this. We're going to put so much more effort into this. Here soon you'll be able to find me as part of 3 different charity streams. So keep an eye out for those. I'm also going to be running 2 to 3 virtual educational panels here in the near future as well. Mainly on being transgender in the TTRPG scene, as well as being disabled in the TTRPG scene. There's a whole thing there. You'll also be able to find me at PAX Unplugged this year, which is a whole thing that I'm not going to go into because I might be part of at minimum 4 panels. We'll talk about that later. That's enough of my spiel. Please go to someone else.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for all of that information, Selkie, because it's all good. We're going to move on.
You're doing great.
We're going to move on to our lovely Denny. Denny, is there anything that you would like to plug at all?
Well, you can find me on TikTok at Lawless Aries Cosplay, and you can find my jewelry at Magpie Finds Jewelry on Etsy, where I make all kinds of little beaded and polymer clay guys like this guy. This is a Mimikyu with flower sunglasses that I made during our session. I am going to be at Cape Comic-Con in Lewis, Delaware on September 14th, both in cosplay and as like an Artist Alley booth if you want to come see me there. Otherwise, I think that's it for me right now.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Denny. And we love the Mimikyu.
Thank you.
And at last and most certainly not least, Tom, anything that you would like to plug at all?
Hi, I'm that one Warlock. I make the saddest characters you've ever seen on the internet. You can find me all across all of the social medias at that one Warlock. If you enjoyed seeing me play everyone's favorite underwater twink, you can find me every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday playing in different APs. On Monday, you can find me with the ever so radiant and lovely Madness Diamond in a game of Werewolf the Apocalypse, where I play Travis, the Thayard's Glasswalker. Apologies, my brain just went. And you can catch Diamond playing Soiree, the Ragabash. Fucking brain fart. Ragabash Silverfang. Yes, I got that right. Holy shit. Where our characters tend to butt heads, but we're coming very close to our season end, so be sure to come check this out over on the Starfield. God damn it, Sucky in the chat. I love you, buddy. On Tuesdays, you can find me over on Game Ritter Girls Twitch channel in Realm Walkers, the multi-dimensional portal hopping campaign where I play the half Dragonborn Circle of the Moon Druid.
You got this, buddy. You're doing great.
So I heard something, and I don't know what it was. It just threw me off. I play Backer Jostrums, the Circle of the Moon Druid, who wild shapes exclusively into dinosaurs. On Wednesdays, you can find me in The Founding Steps, a New Rawless prequel series, where I play Flamestoker Deagle, Blade of the Flaming Crown, the Minotaur Paladin who has put everyone in a chokehold with his voice, and it was hilarious to see. This is a high level 16 to level 20 mini-series, so lots of shit could be coming up. And then every Thursday you can find me right here with all these lovable and just talented faces playing in Fathoms Below. If you want to see me in the DM seat, I do have a Start Playing made up. It is live. I'm currently only doing one-shots. The one-shots I'm doing are Prince's Betrayal, which is set in a homebrew world of my own creation, and the other one I am getting ready to run is Kobold's Day Out, where all the players will be kobolds going on their first adventure. I do not have an actual campaign set up yet, as I'm doing this until I move into a new apartment and have more time and more space to actually set something up. But if you'd want to participate in a one-shot, please feel free to look me up. I have everything over my socials. And also, while you're over on Start Playing, definitely go check out Just Kyle and Sulky Cove. They're absolutely amazing people and wonderful, wonderful players and storytellers. Kyle is an absolute master at weaving a story and details and a visual aspect. Selkie is just the most creative little gremlin that finds something ever so just tiny and cute and wonderful and turns it into an eldritch abomination that will haunt your dreams in the best kind of way, and just creating these absolutely amazing, wonderfully tragic and creepy characters that are just so much fun to be around. I cannot sing their praises more. I love them dearly.
No, keep singing his praises. Get me my revenge.
Go check out Selkie. Go check out Kyle as well, because the storytelling is just absolutely phenomenal. And just as you've seen, RP is phenomenal. Get this man awards. Get both of them awards. Get everyone on this cast some awards. And Bran. Get that motherfucker a wonderful GM award. But that's me. Go check out all my amazing cast.
Fantastic, thank you very much. If that's everything from my cast, then that's everything from me, so that's everything from us. Thanks for coming to see us today, folks. I've been your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. With me today we've had my lovely cast. We have had Just Kyle, we've had Selkie Cove, we've had Lawless Aries Cosplay, and we've had that one Warlock. From all of us here at World Tree Quests, good night, stay safe. Sometimes it's okay to be sad, but it's definitely not okay to carve up people to use them as parts. Also, don't pull a finny. Good night, folks.
Don't let them tell you how to live their life. You go and pull a finny.
That is my line. How dare you?